Hello, and welcome back to the Deep Dive podcast with your hosts, Roland and Pretty. We have a great episode right in store for you. We want to thank you. Like, hatutaacha kuwashukuru, si ndio?
Yeah,
We
so
will not
thank
get
you.
tired of thanking you guys for your positive
Feedback.
feedback on our videos. Yes, and today our episode is more of health stuff. So
Health, mental.
yeah. So today we are going to talk about depression. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure all of us at one point in our lives, we've been through depression, right?
That's so true.
And maybe we didn't know because depression, unaweza kuwa na depression and you don't know.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so today we are talking about depression. Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you think about depression? Or what comes into your mind when you hear the word depression? Or have you ever experienced depression?
I think for me, for people who knew me, they know me. I was just a depressed fella growing up. But yeah, when we talk about depression, the first thing that comes in my mind is somebody who is suffering in silence. Ni mse mwenye, or it's an effect to somebody who is looking, who maybe has an issue but doesn't know how to express it, or who is trying to figure out how they can handle a big issue. But yeah, so for me that's when it comes about depression, and of course we've mentioned it's all about health and mental.
Yeah.
So when we talk about depression, that's now whereby we come to find out that there are people who are actually bipolar, who are actually who growing up figure out there's bipolar disorders, there's suicidal disorders, suicidal thoughts. Yeah, so it's actually wide. So I don't know. We're gonna break it down.
Yeah, depression is actually wide. Personally, when I hear of the word depression, for me it's like a mood disorder. Because when you try to look at depressed people, they always have like, their moods are always changing.
Yeah.
Napata mtu ako irritable, they have anger issues. Maybe they change how their way of doing things. Maybe you had interest in certain things like playing football, dancing. Now you find that you're not doing them anymore. Like unasikianga tu uko weak.
Yeah,
Let me say that.
That's so true, because literally even those are the effects of repercussions.
Yeah,
The
of the signs.
depression. Yeah, the signs of depression. Because you know, when you're depressed, you always want to, like, unataka kufunga kila kitu.
Yeah.
You know, so like you're like, you know what, me, I used to like music, but nah, I don't want to do music anymore. You see, like you don't want to, maybe you used to be the outgoing type of person, but nowadays you're lost, you're indoors, you know, you just want to lock yourself in the room, you're not talking to anybody, even the people around you who may be, because what depression makes or happens to somebody is inakufanyanga ukwe at a state enye you're like, you know what, I can handle this. Because personally I have been there, and normally when you are in a state of depression, it's usually that uko katikati, then there's a circle, you know. So when you're in the middle, so you don't want to go out of that circle, you want to be in that circle. So that means this is your circle. You don't want anybody to come in through that circle. You don't want anything to come through that circle. So everything, every person, everything, anything, you want to lock out kila kitu. So you lock out your love or your passions, you lock out the people around you. So it really pushes you to a certain corner, which is really not good.
Yeah, when you're depressed, you're kind of lonely because you find out that, like, maybe there was a time I was like, I don't want to reach out to my friends and I don't want them reaching out to me because I felt like I was in a state where I really wanted to figure out myself. Yeah, depression is weird because nilikanga tu naamka and you're like, mimi nataka kutoka, then kitu ingine iko like no. And then you find that when someone is talking to you uko like unasema, like you're reacting in a certain type of way. And do you know that I think people that have anger issues and they get irritated easily might be going through depression and they don't know.
I feel like that's so true. Especially, I don't know, guys, you could just comment down, box, comment below the box.
Apple too.
Apple. So you just comment and tell us. You could share your experience with depression, because just like Preeti had said, we have been through depression knowingly
Yeah,
and unknowingly?
I think everyone has.
Everyone has at a certain point. And, looking at our generation today, we can speak about these things. And even that's why we're doing it. So again, also another thing, you've talked about
Irritability.
Yeah, that word. Unapatanga, you're always irritated. Like,
Kitu
kadogo, you're always irritated. And sometimes this irritation can bring about jealousy. The reason why I'm saying that is you see, when you used to have a passion for music, used to sing well, used to do things, then you unapotea. But then for some reason, after you getting lost, you always just find yourself, silently following through things. And again, then you're like, why is she doing this better? Why is he doing this better?
I know, right?
But you cannot come out and express it or take back your position. So you're like, your irritability, your irritation,
it's there inside,
iko ndani,
hurting you.
then I bring in jealousy. So you find like you're like, hapo hivyo sasa unaanza kujipata, through that unaanza kujipata kule situations that kumbe was not that good, kumbe was not, I wasn't that perfect. But again, you're the one who ulipotea. And you see, one thing I usually say is, no matter what, life has to go on.
It has to. But before you pick up yourself and then go on, that's the real meaning. I feel like people that have a real, unajua depression inaweza kuwa iko ile mild kabisa, ama ikiwa starting stages, you can't really realize it's depression. Because kuna watu wanakuanga na depression but they still have their day and day activities going on.
Wanaka normal.
Yeah, but kuna wale wako depressed, they're even having medicine for depression, at least they lower the thing. But I think people that undergo depression, wengi ni wale wako na low self-esteem. Like you really don't value yourself that much. Depression. Me, I always feel like coming out of depression is easy. It just depends with you. Maybe one thing with depression, when I'm stressed, I don't allow myself to be in a room alone. Like, acha tu nitoke, let me go do something.
Okay.
Because staying in a room alone will bring in a lot of thoughts. You'll start going to social media. Maybe imefanya social media can really ifanya hiyo depression yako ikuwe mingi, especially let's say after a breakup, because mostly I've seen many people wanakunga depressed, especially after a breakup.
And I don't know why depression will always affect men. Because you see, the reason why I'm saying this, and let me just be honest with you, because I have seen guys, but hata kama mtakange kusema, you see, the reason why for most ladies is they can open up easily. Ebu vunja manaume roho. Hiyo kitu tamuuma tu, lakini ana smile tu na wewe hapo. Because you see, the reason I usually say this, because I have seen guys go through this, even the strongest of guys. After a chick has broken up with them, so that like they're pretending to be, me I'm fine, me ni bazoo, me naezana, I can move on, I can pick up myself. But you see, when they're alone, exactly, in the places, in their house or in their room, it's usually like
it's really bad.
It's really bad. I don't know, does it affect ladies that much? Like depression, does it really hit ladies that much?
The difference between love, when a man loves, they really love.
Yeah, they love to die.
When a man loves a lady, that's something I know. They love you like with their all. And when you heartbreak them, for them it's gonna be bad. And like, okay, for us ladies, sisi tukipenda pia tunakwanga tumependa. But for us, I don't know, but me feeling kutoka kwa hizo situations, it's easy because you just, after a breakup, just come into terms. It didn't work out, it's fine. There are millions of people out there.
And if when ule wakulia unalia, machozi inaisha, unarudi normal.
Crying is good. Cry. As in me, I usually just cry, let it out. As in after a breakup, allow yourself to feel how you want to feel. If it's crying, cry. If it's sleeping, sleep. But make sure the next day you are up and you're out there doing your thing.
Mwanaume aliangi.
Tamuka
tu the next day, aoge vizuri, aende kazi, agotee watu vizuri. But I think ideally what even when we're bringing up breakups, I feel like I feel like we're even talking about solutions of overcoming depression.
Yeah.
Because you see, sometimes even before we get kwa hiyo point ya ona daktari, ona counselor, ona nini, is there things we can handle on our own by ourselves. Because you see, we can never avoid pain.
It has to be there.
It has to be there.
Because as
we
said
can
earlier,
never,
no pain,
no gain.
Exactly.
We can never avoid people disappointing us. We can never avoid. It's
just life.
It's life.
And I think those things are just normal. If you don't go through pain, you'll never like get from your comfort zone. Because I feel like sometimes how you take pain, the way in a matter. If you take it positively,
to help you grow.
Yeah, but if you take it negatively, manze, you're going to be weak.
You're just going nakupeleka hivi. So that's now whereby we are saying now you are depressed.
Exactly.
You know, we are talking about depression, but you being depressed is on another level.
Have you ever noticed that depressed people are pessimistic? They're negative. Okay, like, so it's after breakup, I'll never get someone good.
That's true. They're never positive.
Yeah, they're never positive.
It's good to be positive. Good. It's good to... I feel like it's also good to watch yourself. Because you see, one of the reasons I'm saying it's good to watch yourself is again, we're humans. We know that there are people who are naturally sensitive people. You see, there are people who are just naturally, they take time to believe in themselves. Like kuna ule mse like, you can do this, I can do this. Kuna mse you can do this, nah, I can't do this. So they take time to build up. So again, once you know who you are, then you take time to watch yourself. It's actually easier for you to break through a certain mulima. So like when you're trying to cross over, maybe when Ulem say you can just jump fast, that's good. But if you're that person who takes time, just watch yourself and understand your pace, understand your character, or understand who you are. Because you know, sometimes when just like you say, there are people when you hawajui kujiamini.
They don't.
So if you're that type of person, we're not telling you utafute instant courage. You're never going to get instant courage. So what you just do is give yourself time and know who you are. It's actually easy.
I think everything else comes.
It's actually easy. So whatever any other person tells you, whatever happens, if you win something, that's good. If you lose something, don't take it so personal. There's always a next time.
After all, we'll die, man. So just live at the moment. So like, what do you think we should do when someone is depressed, or what should they do?
I think number one is umsako depressed anakuanga na wase around them. So I feel like I want to talk to us wanakuanga around people who are depressed. It's actually easier for you to know somebody who's depressed. We've actually mentioned people who are depressed. Ni mse atapotea kwa scene, ni mse alikuwa anaonekana, but all of a sudden they're not there. I feel like is we should reach out to them. Just reach out to them. Figure out where they are. And once, you know, sometimes we always have reach out to people when you're potea, and then you just want to reach out to them. na fujo. Just be just be smooth with them. Just get to let them talk to you. Because once you're soft to them, they feel like, oh, so somebody wants to.
I can really talk to someone.
Really talk to somebody. Oh, okay, amekuja vizuri. So like they open up. Then after they've opened up, you figure out, how do I help them? How do I walk with them? You know. And again, now if we're depressed, it's a thing. We've already mentioned it, and we've said you might be depressed, but you unatembea tu, una smile na watu, unasema mi bado sherehe naweza piga, naweza enda job. It's okay, because those are the symptoms. You're going to want to show people you can still do it. You know, and especially this comes after a loss. And especially a loss of someone
you loved, or they were really close to you.
Close to you. And I have seen, because it also happened to me when I lost my shosh. I was battling a lot, but nikiwa kwa public scene, I'm strong, many bazoo nini, but
you know that thing really kills someone. As in inakwanga tu ikikumaliza ndani while people are seeing huyu ako sawa, anaendelea vizuri and all. And there's something you've said, sherehe. Mimi, I will never advise someone to like sherehe iko ni kitu yake after depression. You know, some people when they're depressed or when they're stressed or undergoing through something, they always feel like going for sherehe, alcohol is the real thing to like suppress it. Hey, me I feel like it's more exhausting because yes, you'll forget your problems for just a little while, but tomorrow in the morning when you wake up, oh God, it's even more messy than it was. So like when you're depressed, I think we should also educate ourselves on depression. At least when we have certain mood swings, tunaweza jua, oh, something is wrong, and this is how I'm supposed to approach it before the depression gets into another level, you know. So like we should educate ourselves, know these are the signs of depression, in case you're depressed, what you can do. Hizi vitu ziko online.
Actually online. And again, accept you're depressed.
Usipokubali, imagine you won't feel.
Accept. Once you accept, you're like, okay, so I know I'm going through this thing. I know I'm battling with this thing. So once you accept, it's easier for you to find somebody to talk to. Because I know it's okay. Us when you make up we are not counselors. We are not IT professionals in this thing. But with the knowledge and also with the exposure. Ya life, you know, kuna pia sisi life inatutandikanga saa zingine.
I know, right?
Unasikianga.
You know, I really like the way people perceive you without knowing you. Huyu yako sawa. Life yake iko fit, ningepewa life yake. Never admire someone's life. You don't know what they are going through.
You cannot fit on everybody's shoe. You have your shoe, fit in your shoe.
Exactly.
So open up, and if it is serious, because you know when it gets serious. If it is serious, now seek professional counseling. Professional counseling is there are people who have been trained for these things, and as time goes by, we will be having them in the show.
Yeah,
as time goes by, and so also Pia, if you are a counselor, you can drop your number pale, because again, we are here to help people. We're here to help each other grow. So if you're a counselor, you're watching this, just drop your digits pale level how people can reach you. Because there are people who want somebody to talk to. There are people who want somebody to reach out to, and you might be the go-to-go guy. So yeah.
Yeah, because I've had someone talk of suicidal stuff, and they're like, how can you overcome this? I left a relationship like a year ago, but bado sija overcome. Like, people really need counselors to tell them at least how they could go through. Kuna watu strong, wenye tuneza tu penya, kwa sababu, personally, I don't think I can allow kitu yote in bring down college. You know, there are certain things you go through in life, and then you're like, I'll never allow this again.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Like pia sisi as people, let's be keen on the mimi unajua, I'm always telling people to be keen on the people they really put close, because ando watu wenye wanafanyanga you end up in certain situations like depression. Make sure you put people around you that love you, care about you. They at least as in they're there for you anytime you need them, you see?
Yeah.
And I think that's all we add about depression. So if you have something else to say about depression, please drop your comments there. Yeah, I think that's all about depression. Manze tujipende. Do not have a low self-esteem. You do not have a reason to have a low self-esteem. Because why? Me, I always believe, unaona kwa ile verse ya Jeremiah, that the one that says that before God made you, he had a purpose and he knew what will become of you. So yeah, just believe that God brought you into this life for a purpose, and you have to fulfill that purpose. Maybe what you're going through, it is building you for the person that God wants you to be, or other for the next episode or chapter of your life. So self-love is key. Ukijipenda, you'll never allow things to bring you down. Self-love
number one before anything. Ukijaminia, hakuna mtu anaweza kuangusha.
Exactly. Yeah, so your last remarks?
I think my last remarks is very simple. One thing is know who you are, know where you stand, know your value, know your purpose. Again, once you know those things, no, you. Again, if I know myself, if I know where I want to go, if I know who I want to be, if I know who I want to relate with, then hizi vitu zingine zote, they can never attack me. And even if they attack me, I know where I stand. So again, it can never get too personal for me. So yeah.
Tunafunga. See you on the next episode.